there's a monster in my garden. Ah. Just kidding. This is actually a really cool project, but it will require you to wash some rocks, which is kind of weird. So I'm giving my rocks a little bath and drying them with this teeny tiny towel. But you'll also need some paint markers, paint brushes, some smooth rocks, some terracotta pots, and some small pebbles. So the first step is mixing our paints together. Now I'm going to mix a little bit of white paint with my colours today because it makes it more opaque, which gives you better coverage, but you'll still need to do 2 coats. I'm squeezing a bit of green in. I'm going to be using 3 different shades of greens for my cactus today, just so they look a little bit different together. Here we go, here goes the white. Perfect. Then just mix it together. Now for the monster colours. I'm going to go orange, green, and a really vibrant purple. Now to get a really vibrant but deep purple, I'm going to mix light purple and dark purple together. Now just make sure your rocks are nice and dry and let's get painting. So just paint one side, once that's dry, flip it over and paint the other. And then just do that to the rest of your rocks. And just do the same thing to the other side. And then do the rest of your cactus and monsters. Now they're all dry, it's time to get on to the next step, which is adding in the detail. Now I'm going to be using a paint marker today because it's way easier to control than using a paintbrush. So for the first one, I'm going to start with long straight lines. There's not one cactus that is the same, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to do some lines on this one too, and once it dries, I'll add in some X's. This one's really spiky, so I'm going to put lots of dots on it. Oops, that's a really big dot, just means it's a big spike. Okay, it's monster time. I'm just going to draw 2 eyeballs on this orange one with no mouth. So on this green one, I'm just going to draw 2 eyes at different sizes and a little closed mouth with some teeth coming out. There we go, his little fangs. And for my purple monster, I'm going to draw 1 big eye and a big open mouth full of teeth. You will have to let it dry before you draw in the teeth. I find it's easier to put the bigger rocks at the back and the smaller ones at the front. And there you have it, a little monster garden, or a bowl of monsters, or a little pet rock monster. Rawr.
Hi, my name is Joe. I'm the designer. This one is one of my creation. This one, the metal sculpture. This one is a dragon. The material is a metal. Before I do some work, I have to do like a hand sketch and put in computer program and work together with the welder. We got about 4 or 5 people work together in the team. Too hard to tell the time exactly, like how long it takes, because the welder, some they make the wing and the body. When the part ready, we put together. Why the color look like this? What we doing it after we finish welding it? We burn with the oil, we brush it and put the coat or lacquer on the top. That's why we get this color.
What's cooler than a homemade dragon? A homemade dragon with eyes that light up. I'm going to show you how, and this is what you'll need. Some cling wrap, scissors, art dough, LED bulbs, which are little lights from your electronics store, and a battery pack with some AA batteries to get the lights working. All right, guys, I'm just going to give you a quick example of how our dragon's eyes are going to light up. So, this dough is actually conductive, which means electricity is going to run right through it and light up our LEDs. So let me show you how. We're just going to roll up a little ball of the dough and make a little half circle and just stick it down to the table, and then do the same for the other side, making sure they're not touching. And now grab one of the little bulbs of LEDs and just squish it so that one side's touching each, just like a bridge. And now with the battery pack, it's got two wires coming out of it, one red and one black. So put one wire in each piece of dough. Now the electricity is going to flow from the battery pack through the dough and into the light. And if the lights don't light up first time, swap the wires over and try again. And so that's basically how our dragon's going to work, but we're going to make it cooler. So I'm going to move this to the side and get started on the dragon. Okay, so we're going to start with the body. Grab a chunk of the dough, roll that into a bit of a sausage, and just between your hands, when you've got the body made, with your two fingers, your thumb and your forefinger, just pinch the dough like that, and that's going to create the spines for the dragon's back. And that's going to be the body of our dragon. And next, we want to make the tail. Again, another sausage. Just roll it round until you've got the length of the tail you think's cool. Just squeeze it and create those spines all the way down the tail to the end, and then pick up your tail and place it on the end, and just with your fingers, just squeeze the two pieces together. The dragon's coming together. Now let's make some legs. So again, just roll it into a cylinder, bend it in half, and we're gonna pop it on the side like that. And again, just blend in those joints with your fingers. And now for some toes. I'm just going to make a pointy sausage and then bend it in half. I'm just going to lift that leg up and put it under and blend those in. Now I'm going to repeat that step for the other side. Roll it in, bend it at the middle, and then blend it into the body like before. And then again, we're going to make another toe, and then we're just going to attach it to the end of the legs. All right, and there the two legs done. Time for some wings. We just want to roll some thin sausages and make them into a curve. And then we're just going to flatten a piece of dough out. And then we're going to lay the sausage over the edge and blend that in. So squeeze that down, and it's going to give you some spines on the wings. Okay, so now I'm going to put the wing on and do the same with the other side. Just like a plane, the wings angle back towards the tail. Okay, so now we're going to make the head. And we're just going to make the bottom a little flat triangle. We're going to grab some cling wrap, dab that down onto the sides and the top. And with the scissors, be careful, they're sharp. We're just going to cut around the edge. And now for the top of the head, we'll make it the same kind of shape, but maybe a bit pointier to match those dragon spines. So just roll it into a bit of a ball and then squeeze it into a triangle with a few spines on top. And then put that on top of there. And now it's time to add the LED lights. The LED bulbs have two wire strands, so one has to be on each side of the dough, and that's why we use the cling wrap to separate these two. So poke them in, and that bulb's going to be one eye. Now I'll put the other side in. Okay, they're both lighting up, but you know what? I think it could use some fire in its mouth. So let's get a yellow bulb and stick it into the end of his snout, and there we go. The lights and a breathing fire. So now we'll attach the head to the body. Looks a bit weird though. I think I might need a neck. Don't worry, never too late to make one. We'll just grab another piece of dough, roll it into another sausage, and then like before, pinch it with your fingers to create those spines like the back, and then attach that to the body. We want to put some more cling wrap on the end of the neck so the power doesn't get lost in the body. Grab the scissors again, being careful, just cut away the excess, attach the head. Okay, let's plug it up and see if it still works. And there you go. Oh, it's missing some nostrils. Grab the scissors again, and at the end of the nose, poke two little holes so we can let all the smoke out. And guys, remember that you are playing with electricity, so always have an adult around and make sure that the wires only end up in the dough. And there we have it, a fire-breathing, eye-flashing dragon made from scratch.
I'm giving my stationery a monster makeover. The things you'll need: some fake fur, a folder, a pair of scissors, a wide brush, and some craft glue. Step 1, lay your fabric flat, line it up to the edge. I'm going to cut 5 centimeters around the folder. So using the scissors, make sure you're careful, they are quite sharp. And when you're cutting the fur, you will get some flyaways. So just grab them and flick them to the side. Now the cool thing with this is you don't have to measure anything. You just make sure the fabric borders around your stationery. So cut one final piece off. Sometimes your fake fur comes with some lines that you can see. You can just follow them with the scissors to help you cut straight. Awesome. Get rid of any excess. So now we're going to put the fake fur to the side and we're going to coat the folder with some glue. So my way of doing it is flipping it over, just squeezing some glue quite generously on all parts of the folder. And just with your brush, just going to spread out the glue, making sure you cover all areas. Probably just need a little bit more. Using long strokes. Awesome. Just hold your folder up, lay the fur flat. Now just go slowly, hover it slightly above, and once you feel like it's lined up, press down and press the folder into the fur. And I've made sure that I've got a nice even border of the fake fur around the folder. And we're almost done. All we need to do now is fold over the excess. Again, with your scissors, just be careful. And you can use these two lines for the spine as a guide. So snip a slit here, a slit there. And the reason why we're doing that is that when we come to glue it in, it follows the shape of the folder, and when we close it, it doesn't crease up or get tangled. Now also with the corners, we cut out a line like so, almost like a square. And again, that's so we can fold it over, nice and easy. So I'm gonna do the rest now. Okay, and now just to glue those folds in. So just directly put some glue onto the fake fur, fold it up and press down. And so we're gonna repeat that step all around the folder. Okay, just one more fold to go. And we're done. So just pop it up on its side and let it dry for about 30 minutes. And there you have it. Your monster makeover is complete. Now remember, you can put this kind of fur on most stationery items. Got some paper holders, pen holders, a little pencil case, and even a chalkboard.
I'm in Tassie, and I'd be a silly little devil if I didn't try to get a photo of this iconic creature. Yes, I'm talking about the Tasmanian devil. I just can't see any at the moment, so I'm gonna meet up with my mate Greg to find out a little more. Greg, mate, good to see you again.
You too, mate, you too.
Thanks. Now, I've been trying to get a photo of one of these Tassie devils, but they're really elusive. Why's that?
Well, mate, as always, you haven't done your research, have you? When's a Tassie devil awake? During the day?
Yeah.
Come on, mate, they're nocturnal. Of course they're not awake during the day, so you need to look for them at night time. Sometimes when it's just starting to get dark, you might get a glimpse of them.
What about when you're in a place like this?
So devils will come out any time for a feed. So a little birdie told me you were coming, and I actually saved a few treats so we can get a couple out for you to get some shots.
Oh, yep. Battery's charged. So what are we actually feeding them?
Devils eat meat, but not just the meat. They're like a vacuum cleaner. So they eat all the bones, they eat all the fur. Nothing is left when a devil's finished. So
Garbage guts.
they certainly are.
All right, camera's ready. It's feeding time.
Yeah, we might just hold off on the camera for one moment. Have you ever hand fed a Tassie devil?
No.
Do you want to hand feed one?
Do I actually get to feed one?
You get to feed one by hand.
Okay, well, this is one of those times where you want to put the camera down and actually just enjoy the experience. So, yeah, I'd love to.
That's it. Holding tight.
Yeah, oh, he's strong. Do I just hold it or what?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So you should never approach an animal in the wild.
Yeah, that's fantastic advice. It's really important to respect the animals and give them their space. And of course, we don't know if some might be dangerous if we try to get too close. So try to take shots from a distance and just let them do things naturally, and that'll get you some great natural shots.
So Greg, how did they actually get the name Tassie Devil?
That's a great question. It comes from the first European settlers that came to Tasmania. They heard these animals screaming in the bush at the top of their lungs, and they actually thought Tasmania was haunted with the devil. So that's what they were named, and it became their formal name.
So this is a good game of tug-of-war?
Yeah, that's right. One thing devils are not good at is sharing.
Looks like breakfast at my place. Come on, guys, sharing is caring. I'm just gonna get a quick photo. Here's a few more tips on taking a photo of an animal. Be really patient. Let the animal come to you. You don't want to scare the animal, so try to be really quiet, and sometimes you might even have to hide. Say cheese. Well, Greg, I'm off to take some more photos. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. Look after yourself.
Thanks, mate.
I always thought a dragon would make a great pet, unless you're allergic to scales and fire. Anyway, moving on, here's how we draw him. I think I'm going to draw on red paper today, because then we can use some bright colours later. We're going to start by getting the basic shape of the dragon, drawing some circles and some ovals. So we're going to start with the circle, and then I'm going to draw a half circle on the other side, just on the right here, for the tail. And then on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to start it about halfway up the body. That's going to be the neck. And now we're going to draw his head. So it's going to be in line with the top of the big circle, and it's just going to be at the top of that neck that we've drawn. It's just a long oval shape like that. We can trace the rest of the neck down. We'll just follow the line that we've drawn and then curve it around and join it up to the body. We'll do the tail. You just have to trace along that shape that you've already drawn, make it a little bit thicker. The back leg is going to start like an oval shape that's kind of twisted on its side. It'll take up half of the back of the body, just like that. And then underneath that, right at the bottom, a really long kind of circular shape again. At the front, we'll do two oval shapes, one just there, and then one pointing out ahead of the body. Now we're going to do some finer details on his face. Now we've got the basic shape, we're going to press a little bit harder with our pencils to put in some extra detail. For the ears, you can just make them pointy at the ends so that they're more like a leaf shape. Now I'm going to trace over the top of the nostrils, and that's going to give us a nostril shape. And if you want to make him look a bit unimpressed, you can angle down his eyebrows a little bit so that he's frowning at you. Now for the arm, I'm going to trace along the outline of the arm. I'm going to end up with a shape a little bit like that. So 3 triangles, those will be his claws. And then at the end, pop an arrow. Now it's time to outline in pen. Really just need to follow the outline that you've already created in pencil. Be careful when you do the head, especially the bottom of the jaw. You don't need to connect that line up to the neck. And now when you're doing the legs, remember to leave a space where they connect to the body. Now it's time to add some gold and silver pen. Give it a shake. I'm going to start with the silver color, and I'm going to draw a zigzag line just at the middle of the neck, and I'm going to color in everything above it silver. We're going to give our dragon some little dragon socks. We're going to color all the way up to the tip, same with the tail. Still on the silver, I'm going to trace a zigzag line all the way along his back and up his tail. Now I think it's time to go with some gold. I'm going to trace a zigzag pattern with the gold pen all the way along his body. Doesn't matter how big you do it or how small, either one will look good. Go slowly with these, it's really just an up and down stroke. And then finally, I'm going to colour in the horns. And there you have it, your very own pet dragon. Rawr!